Thank you, Mel. So the Jags are moving on to the regular season. It's about time, right? It feels like we're all ready for it to start happening. The team wrapped up the preseason with a 28-12 loss to the Falcons in Atlanta Saturday night. In case you missed it, it wasn't pretty, particularly at the end. There's some real highlights, though, in the first half. News for Jags sports analyst Frangie is joining us now to kind of break down the good and the bad and also what's next. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Hey, Jen. Good to see you.
All right, let's start with defense. What stood out to you? One particular player, more?
Yeah, I thought they played pretty well overall. I think when Devin Lloyd played for the first time, he had not played before, and I think the fact that we wanted to see him, look, he was a first-round draft pick. I thought he flew around, had a bunch of tackles, played 25 plays. I thought he made a difference. I can't wait to see him. You know, he's had the injury, so it's the first time he played. He stood out. Not many of the starters played, but Devin did. I thought they played okay. The 3 quarters this preseason that they all played together, I thought they were pretty good.
And he finished with 5 tackles, actually, in case you missed it. On offense, Tim Jones had a fantastic game.
Jen, I think he's made the team. I really believe that Tim Jones has made this football team. He was a guy that they liked him as a special teams player. They didn't necessarily love him as a guy that was going to be one of the wide receivers. I think he has made the team. I think he's that good of a football player. Now, does that mean Laviska Shenault does not make it? Does that mean Laquan Treadwell does not make it? I think one of those guys will not make the team, but I think Tim Jones is on the team. He's been a great story. 14 catches in the preseason. In addition to being a great gunner on the punt team, look for Tim Jones to be on the team. He's earned that.
Yeah, and Saturday he ran for what, 103 yards, 54 catches for 49 and also 43 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, really impressive. And this was a battle really for backups a little bit, but in particular, let's talk a little bit also about the kickers. Yep. James McCourt and Jake Verity. I have to tell you, I felt so bad for Verity. And again, it all comes down to 1 or 2 kicks sometimes. When McCourt booted that 54-yarder, I mean, that's a tough act to follow.
Well, they both just got here. Remember, neither one of them were on the team before this game, so they both just got to the team, and it was really kind of a playoff between 2 guys. And I thought McCourt, when he drilled the 54-yarder to start, he also hit 8 kicks in practice. I was there in Atlanta the day before. Jen, he drilled them. He's got a good leg. He hit him right on the button. Verity's a guy they watched the whole time. When Indianapolis cut him, he's a guy they liked. But by the time he got here, I get the hunch they really liked McCourt. So they both got to kick in the game. They're both going to get to kick at practice. But McCourt's going to be a tough guy to beat. He has hit every kick right on the button, made 2 field goals as well.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the things that maybe need to be improved upon.
Yeah.
I know we saw that blocked punt also. There's a missed tackle there by Armstead.
Yeah.
Does that not bode well for him?
Yeah, I don't think Rock Armstead's going to make the team. I think there's a chance. He has not had a great camp as a backup running back. I think Snoop Connor definitely went ahead of him in terms of the 3rd running back. And then he just whiffed on the block on the punt. Rock has not had a great camp. I don't think he's going to make the team. I think Snoop Connor's ahead of him. I think Mekhi Sargent's now ahead of him. And see, you just can't do that. You can't whiff a guy on special teams. If you're not a starter, you got to play special teams. That's a bad look for the Jags. I don't think Rock's had a very good camp. I don't think he's going to make the football team. I'd be very surprised if he does.
So we did have some penalties.
Yeah.
Williams, in fact, picked up 2 in the first half. You know, penalties have been something that have really, dogged the team.
Yeah, but those are backups. They're backups.
You're right. Good point.
I think what I feel best about the 3 quarters that the starters played, 2 quarters again in one game, 1 quarter in the other game. I think they were pretty good. Now, we want to see them all together for an extended period of time. Well, the backups are done playing now. The starters get the reps in practice. The starters are going to play when they go to Washington in 2 weeks. So if you look at the 3 quarters where the starters were in there together, I think they played pretty well together. I can't wait to see them all in there at the same time. Again, no more backups now. We've seen that for preseason. You're going to see the starters for the whole game against Washington.
A lot of decisions that have to be made in the next 24 hours. What's next?
Yeah, they got to cut to 53 by 4 o'clock tomorrow. And I think we know most of who's going to make the team. I think there's still some things we're not sure about. The last running back spot, the last receiver spot. They haven't decided who's going to be their starting right tackle. That could be Jawan Taylor, could be Walker Little. But I think for the most part, we know the team. But they've got to cut to 53, and that's got to happen by tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Sports analyst Frangie, thanks for your insight. We appreciate it.
Okay,
and
Jen.
looking forward to a good season. Fingers crossed, for sure.